Welcome everybody to the second week of our course. I hope everybody has had a good first week, that you're able to access everything, get everything figured out. If you have any questions or any concerns about what's going on with this class, I definitely encourage you to reach out to me. I'll drop an email, post in the forums, whatever we can do to try to get it work out. So this week we are moving on to the second module, genetics and evolution. The genetics and evolution module starts from the premise that if we're looking at a biological understanding of brain and behavior, then we need to look at the roots of how biology develops, both within the single lifetime of an individual and over the lifetime of a species. In genetics, we deal with the concepts of how we form as a biological entity from the moment of our conception. Right? Our genes form a framework that can change not only how we look or how our voice sounds or our favorite foods, but can also affect the chemical makeup of our bodies and the chemical makeup of our brains. It can have profound effects on our behaviors and our choices and our emotions and our thought processes. So we look a little bit about how genetics can affect us as individuals, and then we spend some time talking about how genetics has been shaped in us as a species through the process of evolution. We know that evolution is the process that shapes all biological creatures, and we know that so the core concept of this class, that we're looking at the biological underpinnings of our brain and our behavior. So therefore, evolution has likely had a dramatic effect on shaping our brains. One area of psychology called evolutionary psychology has attempted to really look into how evolution is potentially affecting the way we perceive, the way we process information, the way we act, and the way we think. So we'll spend some time looking at the principles of evolutionary psychology and some of the research that they do. And as part of this unit, you're going to be reading chapter 4.1 in your textbook. Right? So we're jumping a little bit ahead. So it's the 4.1 unit in the textbook. You should also be reviewing all of the video lectures, and there is another discussion for you to create a thread in and respond to your classmates. So that's what we're doing right now for that module. But also, as part of this week's course, you now have access to the case study project module. You'll want to take a close look at the case study project guide. Right? So if we open this up, the main thing you need to think about is you need to go through and you need to review and read the discussions of what each one of these different categories are. Right? What are each one of these potential case studies? What chapters do they cover in the textbook? And what is the basic principle behind either the meta study, small group study, or even individual case study that you will be examining? You're then going to want to pick which one of these you are most interested in. You'll come to the case study project module. There's a link to a self-enroll in those groups, and you should be able to select which group you want to self-enroll into. Each group has a maximum of 5 people that can be self-enrolled into it, and it is a first-come, first-served basis. So if you know that you passionately really want to do a particular topic, then you should jump in there and you should grab your place in it right away. If you're not really sure, spend some time thinking about it. But by the end of this week, you need to have selected which one of these you want to do. As soon as you enroll, one of these groups will open up to you. So right now I'm in the administration view, so I can see all of them, but you should not see any of them until you enroll in a group. And once you enroll in the group, you should be able to drop it down and you will see any papers or relevant information related to that particular group. And you should be taking a look at that paper and thinking about it. In addition to that paper, go back and refer to the case study project and look at the chapters or chapter that you will be responsible for covering and taking a look at that. Keeping in mind, right, that from the next few weeks, you're going to be reading your case study, you're going to be reviewing the chapter, and you're going to begin to construct a paper that you're going to post about that topic to the forums in week 11. Right? So as you're thinking about what you want to write about it, always refer back to this guide, and it'll review for you each of the basic principles that you should be developing, and you should write, a small paper addressing each of these as it relates to the case study as well as the material in the book. Then on week 10, you're going to be posting those in threads that I'll create, and then you'll have a chance to ask questions and review other people's threads towards the end of the class. But for this week, the most important thing is to decide which case study you want to do and make sure you're self-enrolling into that. In addition to that, complete the Module 2 on genetics evolution, and then week 2 is under your belt. All right, well, I hope everything's going well for everybody. Again, if you have any questions or concerns, please reach out to me. Otherwise, I will see you in the course.